Hey, what's up guys, MGH here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be discussing the match at Old Trafford tonight. Manchester United versus Arsenal, the FA Cup quarter-final. So much history in this fixture and I tell you what, I'm stressed. I'm really stressed. Now, in this series or in these kind of videos, I like to discuss, team news, injuries, some facts about the game, and just my general thoughts on what's going to happen. And obviously I end the video with a prediction. So tonight we're going to Old Trafford, where I believe it's 9 years now that Arsenal have failed to win there, which is absolutely unacceptable, and we need to change this. And I'm really hoping tonight is the night we finally get a win. The first thing I should mention is, in the background you're watching a simmed match between Man United and Arsenal, where it's the computer versus the computer. I couldn't change the formation and the actual players for United, so unfortunately Evans is in that team, despite being banned for 6 games for spitting. And I believe Papiss Cissé, who obviously was spitting as well, has been banned for 7 games. What's his name? Evans out for 6. I don't know why there's a difference there, but either way, spitting is absolutely disgusting, and I'm glad those 2 got banned. But yeah, Evans is playing in this match as you're watching it now, but obviously he won't be featuring in the real match tonight. Other players that won't be featuring, we've got Robin van Persie out with an ankle injury. I'm sure lots of Arsenal fans will be happy not to see him tonight because, well, if he scored against us, I'm sure a lot of us would probably have nightmares for weeks, like last season at Old Trafford. So Van Persie will not be playing, and to be honest, I actually think that's a good thing. I think that he would have had just one of those wonder games. And although he's been struggling this year, just want to reiterate what I've always said about Van Persie, even though he's not my favourite player anymore. Class is permanent and form is temporary. So there you go. Get behind him, United fans, and I'm sure he'll come back and he'll do well. So yeah, Van Persie and Jonny Evans will be out tonight for Arsenal as well. Gabriel injured for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks apparently, with a hamstring issue, I believe it was. And Chesney, back from his illness tonight, could be featuring. And the same with Monreal, who's been out with an injury as well. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was his back, or was it his neck? Either way, he could be returning tonight. Although I would actually go with Gibbs personally, because I think Gibbs is actually the better player going forward. Monreal going back is obviously maybe a little... Well, is he a bit stronger going back? I think he's definitely a bit more defensive-minded than Gibbs. So it's a bit of a difficult one, that. But it depends really on what Van Gaal's going to do with the team tonight for United. Tonight, I think it's going to happen. I think Arsenal will do it tonight, and this is why. Arsenal are in better form right now. I feel in the last, I'd say, 2 seasons, we have had a better squad. We may not have as many players or as much depth, I guess, and maybe not even individually. United have some absolutely fantastic players individually, like, obviously they've got Rooney, they've got Di Maria, they've got Falcao, who are all fantastic players. They've got more than that, obviously, but Arsenal, I feel, as a whole, the squad is very strong, and I think they have a bit more of a togetherness. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of United fans will disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. But I just feel like tonight, I think we should be able to finally do it. And let's go through some stats, actually, because I find this fascinating. So head-to-head wise, Arsenal and Man United have played a joint high 18 FA Cup finals. I mean, that is fantastic, and they've won 11 each. Manchester United have kept a clean sheet in each of their last 4 FA Cup games against Arsenal. Arsenal and United have been drawn together 13 times. Arsenal winning 6, one of them being a penalty shootout, and United have won 7, so they do have the advantage in terms of the amount of games they've won in the FA Cup against us. There's been a lot of very famous games in the past in the FA Cup, that's for sure. But the clubs have met twice in the final, and Arsenal coming out both times on top, and 3 times in the semi-finals. United went through to the final each time. So we've won in the final more times, but they've won in the semi-finals more times. Today's the quarter-final. What's going to happen? United have won 11 and just lost 1 of their last 15 matches against Arsenal in all competitions, and that is a long, long time ago. Some facts about Manchester United. Wayne Rooney, he scored 7 goals in his last 8 FA Cup matches, so he's definitely the main danger man tonight, depending on where he plays. I'm hoping he'll be playing in midfield just for that very reason. Juan Mata has scored 4 goals and assisted 2 in 5 starts against Arsenal in all competitions. I'm guessing that's part to do with being at Chelsea as well. And for Arsenal, Olivier Giroud, he scored 7 and assisted 4 in his last 11 FA Cup matches. So he's our danger man tonight. And I think that's exactly what we should be doing tonight. Our lineup should definitely have Giroud up front. I think on the left, we should go with Sanchez. On the right, we should go with Oxlade-Chamberlain. However, I would like to see Welbeck at some point. So whether we move Sanchez out on the right and Welbeck comes in on the left at some point, or we could be featuring Walcott as well. We've got a lot of options now, which is obviously very good to see. In the middle, I'd be going with Coquelin, of course. He's been fantastic since coming back from his loan at Charlton. I would like to see Cazorla and Ozil next to him in the middle. The only issue with that is defensively, you know, Cazorla, Ozil, not the best players to go back. And maybe someone like Ramsey would be better fit there. But I think Ozil and Cazorla should be starting, that's for sure. At the back, we should go with Gibbs, Bellerin on the right, and Mertesacker and Koscielny at the back. I would go with Ospina in goal, but I think it will be Chesney tonight, and we'll be giving Ospina a little bit of a break. He's played a lot of games in a row now. Although most keepers do, so I don't really understand that. I think Ospina is a better goalkeeper. It's as simple as that. Right, okay, moving on to something else I really wanted to discuss in this video, guys, and that is something that Van Gaal said in his match preview, whatever you call it, press conference. He said, and I quote, the top 4 in the Premier League is more important than winning the FA Cup. So, whilst I agree with that statement, you know, Man United, they need to finish in the top 4 this year. It's an absolute must. However, the FA Cup, in my opinion, is pretty much their only chance of silverware this season, and it could be for Arsenal as well. And I think the way he's gone about saying this is wrong. I think Van Gaal is a very clever guy, but the way he has said this, it might be through, you know, translation, in terms of his English isn't the best, I guess, at getting his expressions out. But the way he has said this is completely wrong, in my opinion. They should be going for top 4 over winning the FA Cup. Yes, but is that really the kind of motivation you want to be giving your team, your squad, all the players that will listen to your press conference, saying that, well, the FA Cup, yeah, we'd like to win it, but it's not very important. We think that finishing top 4 is more important. I think you can word that so much better. He should be saying something along the lines of, look, we really want to finish top 4 in the Premier League, and that is a priority. However, winning the FA Cup would be something we would love to do, and we're ready to do it. That is the way to say it. I think the mentality he has given the players tonight is, if we lose tonight, it's okay. We're prioritising the top 4 of the Premier League anyway. It shouldn't be like that. But I also want to say about Van Gaal is I think, like I mentioned, he's a very clever guy, and I think he is the right man for the job at the moment. A lot of United fans seem to think that he's no better than David Moyes. However, I think United are a better team. They're harder to beat. They've really not lost very much games this season. And I think that's down to him, I really do. He hasn't got the best defence to work with. I think he'll be bringing in some defensive signings for sure in the summer. If not, then he should be fired. It's quite obvious they need more defensive players, especially a really good centre-back, someone like Hummels or, you know, just someone. And I think Van Gaal is the right man for the job. I think if you give him 2 seasons or so, I think United could very well be back to the top of the Premier League if he gets it right. He has made some very expensive signings that maybe haven't quite worked out. You know, you look at Falcao on loan, they're spending a lot of money on him per week, isn't performing. You've got Di Maria, 60 million plus, isn't really performing. But then again, he's made some great signings. I think Blind has been fantastic, Rojo's been okay, I think he's been pretty good. And also, to be honest, the whole squad just seems a bit more solid, and that's just my opinion. Moving on to Arsenal, I've already mentioned how I think we are in better form, and I do think our team is better than United's at the moment, especially on form. I think Arsene Wenger said something very nice in his interview with Martin Keown. If you want to watch that, it's on the BBC website. Basically, Martin asked him what game. Sorry, no, not that's enough. He said, "What game do you remember the most?" And he said, "Oh, it's the one that Martin was in, where Van Nistelrooy missed his penalty. I'll never forget it." But the question that really, caught my eye was, we haven't won there in 9 years. Does this worry you? And Arsene Wenger said straight away, the great thing about football, or this job, as he put it, is the game isn't decided on history. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. It's all about tonight, and that's where I think this is the day. I think Wenger knows, and I think out of everyone, he is the one who really wants to win tonight. We have a massive chance to do it, and I think tonight is possibly the night. I'm going with a 2-0 win. I think we can do this, guys. If we defend well and we go forward cautiously, but I want to be violent. I want the team to go forward. I want them to bully United off the ball, because we don't do that sort of thing. We don't have the players to do it. I would just love to see that one day, and I think we can do it tonight, guys. So let me know your opinions, leave your comments, and tell me what you think will happen tonight. there's no doubt in my mind that United could easily win this game tonight, because it seems like Arsenal just have a mental block. We just cannot win there. If that happens, then that's just the way it is. But I'm going to be behind the Arsenal side tonight and just praying that we get the win, because I think today it could be a massive, massive fixture in our season that turns us around. You know, when we lost it at the Emirates, since then we've been so much better. And I think tonight it could be another one of those. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This is the second time I've had to record this, because I recorded the first one with the wrong mic. So I might have missed out on something that I did in the first recording, but what can I do? Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. And come on, Arsenal!